So I'm back here in MonoDevelop in the Notifications Manager class, and off screen I've added some formatting and some comments to this code. You can see the formatting here to divide up the functions and variables, and the comments here to indicate what the different lines do. Now, comments are completely optional, they're not something that you have to add to your classes, but I recommend that you do add them. They can be helpful not only to other people who have to read your code, but they can be helpful to you too, because it's easy to write code and then return to it several weeks later and wonder what on earth it was you were trying to do. So comments can really help refresh your own memory. Now, the Notifications Manager class that we are creating here is designed to be a completely centralized system. That means that objects in the scene should be able to register to listen for events and say, hey, I want to be notified when this event happens. And then when that event does actually happen, the Notification Manager has to post a notification to all of the listening objects in the scene. So the first thing we need to do is to create a list of all the listening objects, to keep track of all the objects that are listening for a particular event. I could add this list by creating an array of objects, but what I'm going to do here is use a .NET framework class called a dictionary to show you how you can use .NET in your classes. So here in this private variables section, I'm going to create some additional space and declare a new dictionary. The dictionary objects allow us to basically keep track of a database of objects. So I'm going to create a new private variable, and it's going to be of type dictionary, and you can see that listed here in the code completion dialog. So I'm going to select dictionary, and I'm going to specify the two data types of string and array, a list here, a list array of component. We're going to call this member listeners, and it's going to equal a new dictionary like so. And in this one declaration here, we have created a list of listener objects. Now we are arranging these by string and then by a list of objects. The string value will keep track of the function name that we need to call when an event happens. So it may be, for example, if we switch over here to the enemy class, you will see that the enemy class has a shot function, and we're going to want to call that function when the click event happens on the cube. So this enemy is going to be listening for a shot event. So if I switch back to the Notifications Manager, the enemy will be listening for a shot event, and this list here will keep track of all the objects in the scene listening for that event. So in this one declaration, we've created a list of objects that we can use in our class. Let's now code some functionality that we can use to work with these objects.